Okay, time to start actually doing some stuff here. First step, pull these pins. And there's the first one. Use these pliers. They're actually in there pretty tight. I think I might try a set of regular pliers. I haven't been able to find mine for the last couple of days though, so. Nothing like the proper tool for the job. You just get a real good grip and make quick work of this. Yep, only took a second or two for each pin, and out they come. Okay, so the nut goes on like this, and here's our mounting surface back here. So we need the length of the fretboard, and then we need the distance from that surface to this surface. Add the two together, and that's the length of our neck tubes. Okay, fingerboard is clocking in at 524 millimeters. And then the nut overhang here is looking to be about 9 millimeters. So we're looking at 533 millimeters for our tube length. So we come down to wherever we're at here, 533, and we make a mark. There you can see it right there. If this thing will ever focus again. Come on. Anyway, the mark is right there at 533 millimeters. The highlight's right at the mark right now. Anyway, okay, so, yeah, I don't have patience for this camera. You're gonna have to take my word for it. So just put it on the corner of the desk here. I've driven a nail into the leg to act as a stop for when I'm using it to cut small things like this. Now it's quality time with the hacksaw. I'll be back. As you can see, it's very slow going. Yeah, it's like cutting steel, or high quality steel. And there it is. And there's the cutoff section here. It has the string throughs on it. Or some of them. There's the last string through right there at the cut. So, alright, so that's one tube. Now I gotta cut the second tube to the match length. Okay, got the second mark going right there. And this is the second tube, so time to do the hacksaw thing again. Okay, so there's the second tube, cut the length, and that's the piece cut off from it. So there's our two tubes and our two pieces of cut off. So that stuff goes in the scrap box, and there's our parts. And now I gotta glue them together. Well, this bottle's kind of messy, but I have 5 drops on it. So, time to attach it. So, give it a couple minutes to set and see what happens. Okay, this stuff should be dry. One tube's just a little bit longer than the other. I'm going to see if I can grind them even with some 60 grit. Alright, that got it close. I'm going to finish out with the leveling beam. And there it is, all nice and even. Okay, it's dry. The rubber bands are off. It's strong and tight and together. And I marked it out where the second pair of neck screw holes is going to go. And now I think it's time to fire up the generator and plug in this thing and do this kind of thing, because that way I can keep it all nice and straight and level and square and stuff. and get the holes right on the center of the top of the tube. So that's the next step, is get the drill press set up. Okay, got the drill press all set up here, and time on sprockets when we drill. I'm starting with like the next size up, second to smallest bit in the index. There's my index here. Alright, so I'm starting with the second smallest. I'd normally start with the smallest, but you bust them easy, so I'm going to go second smallest, less chance of breakage. Then I'll just step up like 2 sizes at a time until I get up to the same size as these other holes here. And that should do the trick. These holes are just a little bit on the loose side for the M4 hardware, which is probably where you want to be to give it just enough wiggle room for neck alignment adjustment. So time to drill. Okay, there are the first 2 pilot holes. One there and one there. And now just start running through the bits, so to speak, till I get where I need to be. With a big old 1/2-inch drill chuck and a huge spring-loaded key, bit changes are going to be non-trivial, shall we say. Okay, I stepped up 3 drill sizes from the pilot holes, and that's the next set of holes. This is another 3 drill sizes from these holes, and I might only need to go 1 more drill size bigger than this in order to match these holes on the far side. So here we go. Yep, 1 more drill size up and they'll all be the same size then. And there it is, the neck is drilled. Okay, the material might be carbon fiber, but the process is still pretty much the same. The pieces, it's a 2-piece laminate neck, basically. 2-piece carbon fiber laminate neck, and the 2 pieces were cut to length. They were glued up, and now they've been drilled. And as far as like sanding goes, got a little bit of glue there I got to clean up. The ends don't really feel too rough. One end's which end is which? Okay, the nut's going over this, so we don't really have to worry about that being too rough. It's not rough though. And this is the part that will be underneath the end of the fingerboard. And right next to it would be either the neck pickup or the depth pick guard. So this won't really be exposed, but once again, it's not rough or anything. So other than just like, okay, and this part is where it'll actually be bolted to the body, so you don't really have to worry about any roughness on these holes. That's not, you know, smooth as a baby's bottom, but it doesn't have like burrs or major burrs or anything like that. So once again, that's smooth enough. So about the only thing I don't really feel anything on the bottom of the neck here. This is the side that'll get glued up to the fingerboard, and it's smooth and level enough for gluing, it feels like. So, and along the sides of the neck, yeah, we got a little glue runoff right there, and that's about it. A little bit right there too. So let me go ahead and touch those with like some lacquer thinner might actually work, so I guess maybe try that. Well, that wasn't very hard. Lacquer thinner, TP, a couple minutes elbow grease, slowly but surely this stuff actually does rub off. So, okay, I guess the next step's going to be to glue up the fretboard. Okay, we're up to about 10 minutes here, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here and clip fretboard in the next episode. Until then, everybody, have a good one.